Hello, Internet. Out here in front of my, I believe it's 8.5 by 21 foot cargo trailer conversion, parked in my backyard with all my animals, and my neighbors are surely thrilled. But what I've got here, this is an Interstate, I believe it's an Interstate brand. What is that? Interstate West? I'm not sure if that's a distributor or if that's the actual trailer, but I've got a water issue. I pulled this thing in and parked it the other day to do some work on it. And when I pulled it in, my side door over here, in amongst the mess, water poured out from underneath my side door, which is unusual because there's not supposed to be a swimming pool inside, but there was. What had happened in some of these storms we got 8 inches of rain. The installers of this put the flashing on backwards. So water was rolling off the roof and coming right down behind the front skin on this trailer, as well as a few other places that hadn't been sealed at all or had been sealed incorrectly, and poured inside the trailer. There was quite a bit of mold, which I've scrubbed off and bleached already here. So there's still a little bit of mold right there, but a lot of mold. And the water had come in, gone down the wall. Some of it had just run off the front of the trailer down to the ground, but quite a bit of it had gone in behind the foam insulation. There was water in the walls. There was water, standing water, deep on the floor inside. And so I thought I'd put this out, show you what I'm doing here. I've taken the corner skin and the front skin off, and I've slid it underneath this fiberglass nose cone. Before, you can see where it was just overlapping. So this sheet was on the outside of this and then screwed on with, really, there was no sealant at all. There was a little tiny bit of silicone that somebody had added, but silicone is not a very good way to seal much of anything these days. It's still useful to hold toilets to the floor, but that's about all you use silicone for. Interstate brand, that's what we got. I do not recommend these trailers. This is an older trailer. It's at least 10 years old. But based on my experience with this trailer, there's fairly little that's done well. The roof is not built well where it'll hold water out. On this particular trailer, they just used a butyl tape adhesive, what am I trying to say, flashing tape over this seam. It wasn't glued to anything very well, and water would come underneath the tape and get stuck and go back underneath the ceiling, or it would come down to the edge and work its way under the tape and then go back into the ceiling and leak down through the walls. Really nothing done well about this. This sheet should have either extended all the way down and either had a gutter built into it or had a aftermarket gutter added onto it. This gutter is part of this sheet. At some point, I'm going to get up here and take off the original roof, take off this, I don't know what you call it, the I don't know, edge cap, but I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to make this into a square roof instead of having that rounded profile on it, and just extend this metal to the roof. The roof metal will come off with a very, very mild slope. Basically, it'll just be a flat roof with a slight hump in the middle. It's going to come off, and then the metal on the roof is going to bend over that 90 degree and come down, so there will not be a transition seam at the sharp 90 degree corner that's going to be installed on here. But that's basically what I've got here. If you have a trailer like this, you ought to be replacing this tape probably at least once every couple of years. But I'm also going to take all of these screws that are screwing this down, I'm going to remove all of those and put a trailer assembly adhesive that they use at a lot of the commercial trailer shops to actually glue these trailers together. I'm going to glue this top down to the bottom to seal these two pieces together, and I'm going to go back in and put the screws back through, but that needs to be sealed better. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a 4-inch wide strip of Eternabond tape on these seams as well as the nose cone. I may or may not put anything on these. This is a good kind of seam. That's got a C-shaped piece on the top here that clicks in to the panels, and then they compress the pieces together. So it's highly unlikely, see if I can zoom in there on the edge profile, it's highly unlikely that this system is going to leak on you. If they had just extended that down around to the side here, I wouldn't be doing this right now. And if they'd installed that nose cone correctly, I wouldn't be doing this. Sorry for the mess out here. I wanted to get these ceiling panels, the roof panels rather, I wanted to get those pulled and stuffed under the nose cone so there's no chance when I'm going down the road that water is going to get blown back in here. But I cannot get that nose cone off because I've got about 10 cans of expanding foam that I filled the nose cone with to get it insulated. So there's absolutely no chance I'm going to get that nose cone to come off of here intact. But when I go through to flatten the roof, that's going to come off anyway and get thrown away. So for now, that's what I'm doing. I'm extending the side skin up under the nose cone and then put a Turn-A-Bond tape on here and probably cut a piece of diamond plate to go over the top of that just to dress it up a little bit. And I am going to attempt to get this under the nose cone, but I don't think it's gonna work out very nicely. So, in conclusion, I do not recommend this brand of trailer for a conversion. It's worked well for us, but as far as waterproof, it is not. These were never designed to be waterproof. They did put a nice little, I don't know if you can see it here in profile, there's a nice little bend here, so when you put screws in, it tightens it down and gives you a fairly good seal, but going down the road, water still blows behind there. So all these seams are going to get adhesive. I've already bleached both surfaces, scrubbed both surfaces. There'll be adhesive caulking put in behind here. It's similar to silicone, but lasts a lot longer and has more flexibility to it. And is actually what they use to put these trailers together. I believe it's called OSI Quad Max is what I typically use, and have been using that in my construction business for many years and had really good luck with it. So there we go. Appreciate y'all watching. I hope this would be helpful to somebody out there. One other thing I just thought of, I really don't like these diamond plate guards on the front. They're hard to seal and you end up drilling all these holes through to the back, and then you get water down in here, and the water will eventually rust those screws out and cause a leak. So I don't like to have diamond plate installed on here, especially not with very many screws in it. You could do it right, but this one was not done well. So if you are building one of these, do yourself a favor, don't put a big piece of diamond plate on here. It's not going to serve any particular purpose. It'll save your trailer from getting a couple chips on it, but in the long run, it's going to cause you more problems. Pretty though, but problems. All right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions on this, please leave them in the comments below. I do read and reply to all my comments. If you have any suggestions or would like to see a video on the inside of the trailer, I'll be trying to put one of those together here pretty soon. But yeah, this thing's done well for us. We put a lot of miles on it driving across the country. It tows like a dream. And yeah, can't say enough good things about converting a trailer, just not this brand. Stay away from these guys. They are just they leak like a sieve. They leak like a net with a bunch of holes in it. They leak. Leaking is kind of what I'm getting at. They leak a lot. Thanks for watching.